can't find my shoes, Dad.
Well, don't panic, George. There's no point in panicking at any point, actually. Just take a deep breath and you'll find them.
Oh, by the way, whilst I look for my shoes, Mum said, could Dad hoover the kitchen before I get back from work? Yeah, she said, get Dad to hoover the floor in the kitchen because it's really filthy.
Oh, did she indeed? And when did she say that?
Well, this morning.
Right, okay. So when is she back?
About half an hour.
Half an hour? Why didn't you tell me this earlier, George?
I completely forgot.
Well, I mean, I don't think I've got enough time. Oh, let's just hope the hoover is fully charged.
Oh, and she also said, make sure the hoover's fully charged because at the moment the battery's flat.
You're joking.
No, that's what she said.
Well, why didn't she plug it in before she went to work?
I don't know, you'll have to ask Mum.
Well, why on earth didn't you plug it in, George, when you found out that that's what I had to do?
I didn't even think about it, Dad. I'm looking for my shoes.
You haven't been looking for your shoes for 4 hours, George.
No, but listen, Dad, stop panicking and take a deep breath.
You what the... Right, oh, for goodness sakes.
Dad?
Yeah?
You know my friend Jordan?
Yeah?
You know, he's really stupid.
You can't say that, George.
What?
You can't say stupid. You can say he's immeasurably daft.
Well, okay, right. Well, anyway, he was in the playground because you know he's really fat.
You can't say that, George.
What?
You can't say fat. You've got to say physically challenged.
Right. Well, anyway, so he rolled down the hill because he's
Physically challenged.
physically challenged, yeah. And also when he's got really bad breath.
You can't say that, George.
What?
Halitosis.
What? What do you mean, Harry, what?
He's got halitosis. That's what you say if somebody's got bad breath. I'm afraid you've got halitosis. That's what you say.
Anyway, so he's got halitosis, right? And he's as blind as a
Bat?
bat.
You can't say that, George. He's optically challenged.
Right, okay. And of course his uniform is too small.
You can't say that, George, because that's referring to his weight. It's an ill-fitting uniform that he wears.
And he's got no teeth at the front.
You can't say that, George.
No?
No, you have to say he is without a set of frontal gnashers.
Right, well anyway, so you know my friend Jordan, who's
Immeasurably daft.
Immeasurably daft, yeah.
And physically challenged.
Physically challenged. And he's also got
Halitosis.
And he does
Optically challenged.
And he wears an ill-fitting
Uniform.
uniform. And he's got no...
He is without a set of frontal gnashers.
Yeah.
Well, what about him?
I've forgotten what I was going to say.
Oh. Yes.
No.
Yes, George.
No, Dad.
Yes.
No.
Oh, that kitchen floor is freezing. If you don't put your slippers on, your feet are going to freeze.
No, they weren't. I've been in that kitchen before and it's not that cold, actually.
I think you'll find the kitchen floor is freezing.
Oh, will I?
Right, I'll wait here then. Ah, you're back, George.
Dad!
Yes, George.
Where are my slippers?
Ah, you found it a bit cold in there, did you? Oh, there's nothing to be worried about, George. It's a bit overgrown, but the garden is the way it has always been.
It's a bit spooky, Dad.
No, what on earth is that? Right, just stand behind me, George. Don't move. I've got everything under control. Just stand I'll defend you, George. Oh, I'll defend you.
It's the lawnmower, Dad.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, it just needs a bit of mowing, a bit of TLC, as they say.
TLC?
You know, tender loving care with the old shears and some little cutters, you know, and we can cut the... What? Who on earth has thrown that into our garden? I don't believe... Look at the size of that. What on earth is it? I'll tell you who's dumped it there, George.
Who?
Mr. Hodge.
Mr. Hodge?
Next door, number 38. Oh, it's the kind of thing he would do. Right, that's it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it right back. I'm going to put it right back in his garden. Oh, yes, you just watch his face when I do that. That's annoying, George. That is...
Dad?
Yes?
That is our old rabbit hutch. Nobody's thrown don't it? It's where you left it.
You can't be serious, George. Oh, yes. Good Lord, I haven't seen that for years. Good Lord, look at that. Look at this old thing. I can't believe the state.
It's the shed, Dad.
The state of that. It does need a coat of paint, George. I must admit we must get on with that. All these surprises haven't been down here for at least a couple of weeks.
Years, Dad.
Yeah, a couple of years. I mean, we've been so busy, George, with other things. Careful, George.
What, Dad?
Just don't move. Don't move. It's a snake.
A snake in our garden?
Yes, don't any quick movements, George. We don't want to provoke it. Good Lord, look at it. Look at it just lying there, lying there, ready to pounce, George, ready to pounce
Or strangle.
or strangle, George. Could be a boa constrictor.
In Catford?
Well, somebody could have let it out of its cage, or
Dad.
they could have it could have come from a zoo.
Dad.
Could have come from London Zoo. I mean, this is serious, George.
Dad, it's the hose pipe.
What? Oh, yes. Silly us.
Silly you.
Silly us, George. Oh, anyway, there we are. So, anyway, I'll tell Mum to possibly get a gardener in, and we'll sort this out ASAP.
Why will you get a gardener anyway, Dad? I mean, you could do it.
Oh no, I'm actually quite busy at the moment, George. So thanks very much for that suggestion. A gardener will come in and do it really quickly.
But you're not doing anything at the moment, Dad.
I've got lots to get on with, George, and in any case, gardening isn't the first thing that's, it's not at the top of my list, let's put it that way, and it's something, you need specialised hands in here.
And where's the path?
Well, it was this way, wasn't it?
I can't see it, Dad.
Well, it's here somewhere, George. It's, good Lord, where are we going?
I don't know, we seem to be in some woods or something.
No, that's the back garden there, and we've gone beyond the fencing.
Where is the fence?
I don't know, it used to be here, George.
I think we need a new fence, Dad.
I think we do, George. Me and My Dad is an open fridge production produced by Alex Castle and Mungo Pierce. Music is by Michael Ball. All sketches written and performed by Thomas Kett.